Today, we're going to look at my first ever opening of the new and improved retro GI Joe Classified series with Duke. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at my first new and improved retro GI Joe Classified series figure with Duke. So I've been opening lately on the channel the first wave or first two waves. I think they've actually counted those first 8 figures as one wave. They were good figures, decent figures, pretty much repaints, but they were really bad packaged. They were all Walmart exclusives. Now Hasbro has updated that and made everything better. Packaging's better, figures seem to be better, weapons seem to be better. So I think things are looking up with this new and improved retro GI Joe line. So first off, we will talk about the obvious, which is this thick card back on here. I mean, that is thick. That's almost as thick as our NECA retro Universal Monsters line. I mean, that is super thick, and I do have Snake Eyes right here, and look how thin that is. I mean, I don't know how that's going to show up, but I mean, it is day and night. I can't even, look at that. Just so thin over here. And this is so thick. I mean, they have listened to their customers and improved on that. And just looking at the package, the weapons look better. All the accessories look better. We're getting extra hands. And what is really cool is they've stayed true to the package. Other than making it thicker, which is better, they've stayed pretty much the same. I mean, we got the same great GI Joe logo there. We've got the same good looking picture there with a star. The starburst is a little different, but pretty much it's the same size. They're exactly the same size. They've got the same peg hole there to hang on at the stores. The backs are the same. So, and they've even kept that blue backdrop in there, which I was hoping they would, and they did. It's still, as you can see, blue. Now this is the first wave of the new and improved GI Joe Classified. So they could change things up, but so far it looks like, I mean, unbelievable. Good job. They fixed the packaging. Like I said, awful. Everything else feels pretty much the same. I mean, the bubble, that's about the same. I think it could be a tad thicker, but I mean, even the barcodes on the same spot, everything is the same. So it looks really good. The file card's the exact same. So excited about that. So let's move Snake Eyes to the side and let's talk about this new Duke figure. So just like the other ones, big GI Joe, Duke right there. Warning, choking hazards up there. 4 years in age of over right there. The little bitty Hasbro, just like the other ones right there. The back, the file card's the same. GI Joe up in the upper right corner. Bottom fourth of this card back is your warnings, labels, copyrights, and barcodes. And this copyright date on this is 2024, which today is August 7th, 2024. So I believe this came out about a month ago. It was released onto shelves a month, maybe a month and a half. So I'm just now, I've had it for a while, but I'm just now getting to open it. And as you can see, the cross sell on the back, we've got Duke, which we have in hand, Scarlet, and Recondo. So that is the line we have going right now. And I will read this file card to you. And just like the other ones, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different languages. So they even kept that true. Duke Conrad S. Hauser. Role, First Sergeant. Primary specialty, Airborne Infantryman. Secondary specialty, Artillery. Small Arms Armorer. Birthplace, St. Louis, Missouri. Graduated top of his class at Airborne School. After running 4 different Special Forces schools, he turned down a commission to instead serve as acting First Sergeant of G.I. Joe. So a little backstory, not a whole lot on there, but that is a little bit about Duke or Conrad Hauser. Let's go ahead and get Mr. Sergeant Hauser out of the package. Got my knife right here. So we're going to open him just like we did the others. Slice here, 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 and pull that coffin out. And slice down at the bottom. And let's see. Right there we got our warnings in 6 or 7 different languages. Don't need that. And let's pull this coffin out of here. Got it. And there is that great blue background like I mentioned. Awesome. First thing that pops out is our double pegged stand. Yes, 2 pegs on this, which is good. I like that. Gives you that little bit of extra stability to stay on that shelf. All right, we are going to talk about accessories first, and look at this. He's got a second level of plastic. It was tucked right up under here by his feet, and we'll talk about that first. And the first thing is and I do notice there's no tape on this stuff. The other ones all had tape. So this one's more heat formed to the plastic. First thing we have is binoculars. Check that out. All black binoculars. Good stuff there. It's got the strap. It is a plastic strap, but it's pretty pliable. So then we have his rifle here. And the clip does come out. Look at that. Clip is removable out of that, but that is his rifle that Duke always carried in the cartoon. Looks really good. All green. No paint apps, but that's okay. That's what we want to see. And that is the end of that plastic. So we'll set that to the side. Now we got this plastic, the rest of this, and look at all those accessories. We're even getting extra hands in here. So we'll start right there with the hands, and they are 1, 2 fists. And these are nice. These fists, I can see veins in there. These are probably the best fists I've ever seen on an action figure. You can see veins in the back of his hand there. Looks good. There's actually even fingernails on that thumb you can see. The fingernails would be tucked up under his palm, but that thumb you can see a thumbnail on there. So really good on these fists. Next we have, if I can get it out, his knife. And it has paint apps. We got a very little gold butt on the end, brown handle, and silver blade. So 3 different paint apps on this thing. And it is really flimsy. So, but I do believe that's how they get to that 4 years of age and under limit. Now, if that was really hard plastic, I think that would be, you would have to move up to 8 or 10 or 12 years of age and older. So, I mean, it still obviously can be swallowed. But next, we have his helmet. And this helmet's really good. It's got a visor on it. And believe it or not, that visor actually goes up and down. How cool is that? It's all green. and that the visor on it is kind of a, I won't call it a rose color, but it's kind of a auburn colored maybe, but that's really nice. Actually working visor on this green helmet. Next, we've got a handgun, and it is a big handgun, and again, it is pretty flexible. But all black, no paint apps on this. Big trigger guard there. So that's really good. All black, like I mentioned. Next, we've got another rifle. Besides our other one, we've got this rifle. And that has paint apps on it. We got like a gray or dark gray or black butt on it, and the rest is all green, so that's good. And then, of course, you got to have his backpack. And this backpack has paint apps on it as well. It has 3 different paint apps. We got tan, we've got green shovel, and we've got writing on there. And that writing I cannot read, so we'll have to read that when we get our... Actually, it's got 4 paint apps. It's got black tops to his canteens, the black lids here, and the white writing on the shovel. I know it says GI Joe, but after that I can't read it. When I do my still shots, I'll try to bring that in so you can see what that says there. But really nice, real short stubby peg right here. But I was really surprised with that Lady J that I opened. It was a short peg, maybe even shorter than that, and it fit really good into her peg hole on her back. And that's going to be it for accessories. So let's resurrect Conrad S. Hauser, also known as Duke. And here he is. That's it, as you can see. We'll set that to the side, and here he is. Look at that. Let's go through articulation real quick. Head looks up. Again, not as much as I want. I mean, he's got all these guns, and he cannot lay down, if you can see, and he should be able to lay down and look up through his hard sights right here. But he cannot do it. So he's just got to look down at the dirt. But I mean, it is what it is. I still want to get to the day where he can look all the way up. He looks down a little bit. Head all the way around. Moves left, moves right. And it does still have that bebop effect where it can come forward and back. Just slightly. I don't think it's as good as our original retro lines that we've opened up on the channel, that first wave. He's got shoulders that go all the way around. He's got double butterfly in there. And that, look at that. Wow. Way back. Way back on that. He's got an upper arm cut. Will go all the way around. He's got double jointed, pinless elbows. These feel pretty smooth. Nothing's locked up on him yet. He's got wrists that go up and down, up and down. They do not, yeah, they don't go like that. Just back and forth or up and down. He's got an ab crunch, pretty good ab crunch. He's got that hula hoop waist. Oh, the ab crunch goes all the way around. The waist goes all the way around. He's got drop down hips. Lets him do big splits and big straddles. Look at that. So really good on them, that articulation there. And that is nice, man. This looks so good. He's got upper thigh cuts on both legs. He's got double jointed pinless knees. Double jointed pinless knees. He's got upper boot cut. Great ankle rockers. Look at that. Man, unbelievable ankles. And let's see. Well, he can do it on one foot, not the other, because of this knife sheath right here. This ankle cannot go down. But he can do a one-legged pirouette. He can do one-legged pirouette. That's better than no legs. So, looking good. Let's talk about Duke. I'm going to have to say this very well could be the best G.I. Joe classified figure I've opened up yet. Everything is just perfect on it. All the joints are working. Nothing's locked up. Has a head movement. I want to see that head go all the way up. But that face sculpt is really good. Really good. Got that sweet blonde hair. The details and everything is so good. He's got the hair. You can see all the hair on there. He's got a green collar. He does have a pin on his right breast of his shirt right there. He's got a harness system right here that has a grenade on it. It really don't have anything that's going to plug into it, but it does have a hole in the back of it to where your backpack will go through this little belt, harness, belt, whatever you want to call it, and into his peg hole. And that'll hold that in place really nice. He's got a United States flag on his right shoulder, nothing on the left shoulder. Tan shirt rolled up to the forearm. They are rolled up to the forearm. He's got trigger fingers on both hands here. No gloves. Again, there's a grenade on that belt going across his chest right there. He's got a green belt, green pants. He's got a couple paint apps on his belt, which is a little pocket right here. Don't know. You can pretend whatever in there. And the pants look great. He's got a holster not sculpted on his right thigh. Again, like I mentioned, he's got this knife sheath on his left boot. He's got brown boots. This thing is pretty awesome. I am so glad that they fixed a lot of the things that we complained about with those other ones. Those other retro G.I. Joe lines, that original first wave that came out. But man, you can see veins in his forearms. The pants, you can see all the wrinkles in the pants. You can see the pockets, the buttons. Just looks so good. His boots look like they're made out of the fabric that you would expect the boots to be made out of. Everything looks good. Belt buckle, unbelievable. No tattoos on Duke, which I don't think he had any anyways. But I'm telling you now, this could quite possibly be the best G.I. Joe classified figure I've opened up yet. I would say it's right up there with Snow Job and Snow Serpent. Those are really good figures, but man, this thing is awesome. One thing I will mention now, I don't think these G.I. Joe classifieds have long enough arms. I think their arms should be a little longer. I think they should be pretty close to, if we could imagine those fingers straightened out, pretty close, they should be coming down to his knees, and that would allow them to hold these guns a lot better. When I stand up straight and straighten my fingers out, they're getting pretty close to my knees. Now he is way far away from his knees, as you can see, with straightened out arms. So that's one complaint. I think that would really help with holding these weapons, because sometimes you can't get a weapon in a guy's hand and look down that scope or look down those iron sights. That's one thing I would say that they need to look at. Are these arms long enough? Maybe Duke just has short arms. But anyway, it still is one of the best G.I. Joe classified figures I've opened, and possibly one of the best figures I've opened. And I would say this would have to crack into my top 10 figures of the year as of right now. Really, really nice. Well, let's try to get this backpack on. Again, like I mentioned, there's that strap going across his chest, and it's got a hole, so you got to line that hole up and get that backpack in there. And there you go. Look at that. So he's got his backpack on. Now we have his binoculars. That should just go right over his head. Like that. I wish they would hang right against his chest, but unfortunately they're not going to hang against his chest. Kind of got to push it down. All right, now we've got his knife. Will his knife go into his sheath on his boot? I almost put it in his holster for his gun. Bam, right there it is. Now we've got his handgun. Big old hand cannon right here. Put that right in his holster. And now we've got his helmet. Oh yeah. And again, like I mentioned, look at that visor on that helmet. Visor down, visor up. Awesome. Awesome job. Unbelievable job. Now we've got his big gun right here. Let's see if we can get this in his hand. He does have a trigger finger. Now, getting these trigger fingers in here is sometimes kind of hard, but this finger on Duke right here seems to be a lot more pliable. That's pretty good. Uh-oh. Had it in there and it popped out. Now, this is one problem that you'll have with these G.I. Joes when you try to, I like to stand up and get you one of your guns out of your gun cabinet and hold that like you're going to fire it, and then try to mimic that with these action figures. And it's really hard to do with these short arms. I mean, he's not going to be able to get this hand up under there like I would put my hand. I mean, look how my hand is. I can get right under that gun. Elbows cocked back. And I've got short arms. I really do. So trying to do that is really hard with these G.I. Joes, and I just wish that we would get that kind of articulation. I mean, he's just not going to be able to get up there and get to that right under here, that grip right there. It's just not going to happen. So that is a pretty big complaint. Now, if we turn him sideways, which you can stand sideways and hold a gun, you can get it. But you really got to fight with it. I mean, really, really fight with it. So kind of got it right there. But he's definitely not looking down them sights. So it's close though. I mean, it's getting closer. But he does have his trigger finger in there, and his arms are just too short to get up around this grip. And as soon as you think you got it, then it pops out of where he's holding the handle of the gun. So hard to do with short arms like that. But I mean, it is getting better. It is getting better. Now here's his other gun. Check that out. Looks good. So I'm telling you, I'm happy with this. 100% happy. I'm not going to be 100% happy on anything. No, I'm not. There's always room for improvement. And one way is to make longer arms that can reach and articulate themselves to hold a gun naturally like a real person would hold a gun. So that's going to be it. I seem to have lost one of the fists. I probably knocked it off the table, but we can look at that. How easy are those removable? That popped right out. So there's your trigger finger, and we can pops right on there. So look at that. Pretty awesome. G.I. Joe Classified Retro Edition. Duke. Oh, unbelievable. Really good. 2 thumbs up. Give me a little bit longer arms and I'll be really happy. Let's get Snake Eyes. Let's get our Snake Eyes out of here and compare him to Duke. So this is early action figure Snake Eyes. We've got Duke here. Let's get him off his stand. Take his backpack off because I want to put them back to back. I would think Duke and Snake Eyes, yeah, about the same size. So they do go really good together. Check it out. Duke and Snake Eyes taking on Cobra Enemy. Holy cow. Retro Duke from G.I. Joe Classified series. 2 thumbs, way up. Top 10, maybe even top 5 figure of the year. Till next time, oh yeah.